All right. I'm doing my education 1511 local studies module 1 video for this chapter. And I'm going to start off by answering some of these questions. And the first one is, how would you define the purpose of teachers and schools? For me personally, I have multiple things when I think of the purpose of teachers and schools, and it's kind of contradictory because the first part is future-oriented. There's the idealistic aspect of education. Teachers and schools are supposed to, ideally, shape children into adults who can contribute something to our society from what they learned or something they can innovate. But there's this quote that really sticks with me, and it's, education is not filling a pail, it's lighting a spark. And if there's something in that student that you can light a spark in them, which can inspire them to continue to learn or give them something that they can contribute or contribute to our society, or give them something that can make them feel like they have hope, then I feel like that is the purpose, to light that spark for the children. But at the same time, I think that schools are meant to be safe spaces for children where they can obviously feel secure in themselves and not worry about the outside world for a minute, because schools, obviously, they're full of children, and people still have to be aware that in their young age there is a developmental stage mentally going on, so there has to be a level of protection there. How would you describe the ways teachers in schools have impacted you? I'm lucky to say that I have had really good teachers, especially in high school. A very positive overall educational experience, because my teachers weren't just teachers, but they were mentors to me. So I don't know, there's a difference to me between a teacher and a mentor. Like, there's a teacher that teaches you, the material from the modules, and then there's a mentor who will actually try to be like a guide for you. And the mentors were the ones who were there to reach out to me if I was struggling in class, but not even if I was just struggling in class, but if I was struggling socially, like making friends, or in my home life. And I think that's something really special. Let's see. How do teachers in schools impact society and the world at large? There's this quote by Victor Hugo I really like, and it's always stuck in my mind. It's, "He who opens a school door closes a prison." And, in the modern era, I feel like there are definitely a lot of interpretations of that, because there are also statistics between those who have better education, like areas where they have access to better education, there's a lower crime rate. And it makes sense, because if you have kids who are educated, they're more likely to have better opportunities, so they won't have to go into doing crime for a living. And I think that teachers in schools provide safe spaces for children to learn, and just honestly just be kids, because I don't know, in a lot of countries, or even in the past, usually what would happen is kids would work with their parents all their lives, and they would kind of lack a childhood in that sense, and not to mention obviously the opportunities that could be open to them after receiving an education. Why did you choose this course? In what way does it align to your future? Education just seems really interesting to me. I have a lot of respect for teachers, because I think it takes a lot of patience to be a teacher, seeing what my teachers have to go through, and it's a lot of work. And I like kids, I love working with kids, and I love the idea of being a mentor to somebody else. So teaching is definitely something I've considered. It's something I'm still considering. I'm a nursing major, but I'm keeping the doors open for teaching. You never know. And what from the module materials was the most interesting or impactful? Definitely the article that mentioned Maya Angelou and how she was mute for 5 years. That's insane to me. Maya Angelou is one of my favorite writers. I'm very inspired by her, and the fact that she was mute for 5 years, but it took one teacher to help her, break out of her shell and to light that fire, connecting it back to the quote I was mentioning earlier, and share her gifts with the whole world, is just so incredible to me.